see like, wait, maybe I'm not as horrible as I think I am,
Yeah.
and that there's other parts of me, not just this, but you need that support too.
Well, totally. Yeah. And I think that was where it started to get, a lot different for me was not only those first realizations, but figuring out how to stop struggling in isolation and start working together with these other peers that had the same goal. We're learning the same things and we were all there to support each other. And I think that that's really where, how in the world I'm working on an app like Relay now. It started with this first group experience and realizing, wow, it's so much better to work at this with a team of other peers
People, yeah.
and a robust support system than to do it alone. It got so much easier. Not that it got easy in general. It certainly wasn't just easy from there, but it was easier. It was great to feel like there was this environment where I could practice these skills together. We could kind of help call each other out if, there was things that just weren't making sense as we were, stuck in some of these shame cycles still that we were working through, and even just having healthy accountability where it didn't feel like, to my mom or somebody like I don't want to let her down. I want to make her proud. There's all this kind of weird, maybe baggage isn't the right word, but there's an existing relationship that's kind of making it tricky to have healthy accountability. But with these guys, I felt like healthy accountability was a lot easier. It wasn't only focused on sobriety, it was focused on, well, what's our plan and what were the skills that we were working, and helping each other, focus on those inputs, those things that we could control. I think that was really cool.
Yeah, and I would say too that like compassionate accountability too, because when you just do it in isolation, most of the time, I think for many of us, we try and use shame as the motivator to like
Yeah.
get us to change our
Fear.
behavior, which actually just ends up feeding our pain, which then feeds our escape and avoidance behaviors. And having like accountability from people that can be supportive and encouraging is so different than when we're by ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. It helped me recognize, yeah, I do have all these fear-based motivators that probably aren't the right reasons for me to be focused on this. Like, if I'm just doing this because I want to feel like I'm not a failure by the time I leave the house or go to college or, start my career or whatever, it's not that that's inherently super wrong, but it was coming from this place of fear rather than this place of healthy compassion, and curiosity. Just learning to be, I
Yeah.
think, less harsh and more, I think, discovery oriented and figuring out why this is really important to me, and even learning in the process. Like it's a lot more than just getting over pornography. It was a lot about discovering some really important life skills, like we kind of mentioned, identifying stressors and triggers that will, happen for all of us as we go through the hard aspects of life, and learning how to cope with those in a healthy way, and how to be open and not beat ourselves down just because there's an area of our life that we're not proud of. Like that's okay. Like we've all got things that we aren't proud of, and this is just one of those things. It's not like it's the holy grail of things that I should, hate myself for.
Right, right. Yeah, definitely. And I guess, you have to do that with other people around you. I mean, that's the start of this process, right? Because
Yeah.
we get stuck in our own head and we don't know our own thinking that gets us stuck in this spiral of